I've looked at silver as a strategic metal for the last decade. When I put First Majestic together, I put it together because of my love for silver and the fundamentals, the supply demand fundamentals for the metal. So it's looking like the U.S. government and the Canadian government and others, France and a couple other European governments are going to put silver on the critical metals list. What's that going to do for the mining sector is it's going to allow the governments to permit some silver mines more easily than they would otherwise possibly do. Because all of a sudden governments wake up to the fact that we need these metals, and without these metals, we're not going to reach our green environmental targets.
Last month, the CEOs of 19 mining companies wrote a letter to the Canadian Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, Jonathan Wilkinson, urging that silver be considered a critical mineral, as doing so would position the country as a supplier of choice for strategic allies. The executives also sent written questions about the methodology adopted by the US Geological Survey to a House of Representatives subcommittee, expressing concerns about the USGS's methodology for its critical minerals list and offering suggestions for improvement. Some of the executives also had direct calls with the Department of Energy, expressing concern about silver's omission from the critical metals list. According to a representative from First Majestic Silver, the DOE has admitted that based on their methodology, silver was not quantitatively assessed. In the letters to Wilkinson and the House subcommittee, the mining executives wrote, "Silver is identified as the best electrical conductor, the best metallic thermal conductor, and the best reflective material. These qualities make silver an essential and irreplaceable component for many industrial and technological applications." Researchers from around the globe have raised the alarm that silver is a potential bottleneck in the transition to a low-carbon economy due to supply limitations, disruptions to supply chain, competition for other uses, and increased demand. The letters further noted that silver has earned a reputation as a readily available, budget-friendly precious metal, leading to misconceptions that continue to block policy alignment with academic consensus. According to Keith Neumeyer, the founder and CEO of First Majestic Silver Corporation, silver may soon be listed as a critical metal, which will ease mining activities and make the metal's value more easily recognizable in all corners of the world. Keith believes this event could propel silver prices much higher, even into the 3 digits. During a recent interview with Silver Bullion TV, the First Majestic CEO predicts that we are quickly nearing a point when silver prices will really take off, and the metal will claim its true place as a critical, industrial, and monetary metal. We will now bring you clips from the interview. But before we do, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos. Also, ensure you drop your comments and observations in the comment section below, as it helps with the YouTube algorithm so our videos can reach more viewers. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
Silver, I talked to all the CEOs. I've just met them all over the last couple of weeks, and the various conferences I've gone to, and there is a bewilderment or a surprise that silver's trading where it's trading, and we kind of shake our head and wonder why it is. And when you have a metal like silver that's got the massive deficits that have been going on for I think 6 years now. Last year's deficit was in the order of 400 million ounces, which is pretty crazy. You have the miners producing 820 million ounces last year, and the world consumed around 1.2 billion ounces, a third of that going to solar panels and electric cars. And those two industries don't seem to be going backwards anytime soon. And also just pure electronics, computers, cell phones, and the like, all the gadgets that we want as a human race. And now we're even seeing renewed interest in nuclear energy from different governments around the world. And these nuclear plants need a lot of silver. And people don't think about how much silver is in a nuclear plant. And unfortunately, the wars that are going on as well, these missiles that are flying around also have silver in them. So there's a huge amount of silver being consumed, yet it's not showing up in price. It will. It's just a matter of time again, as I said earlier in my previous comment. But silver, First Majestic is in a perfect spot, and we're doing reasonably well at these prices, but we're looking forward to better years ahead. The anticipated consumption in 2024 is 1.4 billion ounces. These are numbers that the Silver Institute have published and are available if people want to do their own research. The miners have produced 820 million ounces a year, for the last 10 years. That number has not changed very much. It's fluctuated as a low of 780 million ounces to a high of 880 million ounces over that last 10 years. So last year 820, call it whatever you want for 2024. But the miners aren't going to be producing much more silver. We need much, much higher silver prices. We need triple digit silver in order to incentivize the miners to start mining more metal, because at these current prices, there's just not enough money into it and not enough margin, pardon me. Well, we already know that demand outstrips supply from the miners by a very large degree, and the deficit is clear. It's published. You can pull it up on the internet. There's a 400 million ounce deficit of silver in 2023. That's the public number. Now, where those ounces are coming from, who knows? China doesn't appear to be exporting silver. They appear to be importing. India appears to be importing silver as well. Russia, with the issues, they do have a large hoard of silver. I'm not sure if you remember that famous photograph of Putin when he was in the vaults, I guess about 4 or 5 years ago now, where he is holding a gold bar in his hand. And I zoomed in on that photograph because I was quite interested, because it was quite a lot of gold that he was standing beside. And in the back wall, there's a bunch of pallets of silver. So, it'd be interesting to know how many ounces there were there, these are undisclosed ounces. So possibly those ounces are coming into the market. But yet it's not really that relevant, because there is limited supply. Eventually deficits are met with higher price. There's silver coming from somewhere that is not countable by the Silver Institute or any other agency who's following this information. But we do what we do as we look at the data, and we do shake our head to some degree. But at the same time, that deficit will be closed, and it only will be closed by higher metal prices, higher silver prices in this case.
The gold to silver ratio is another factor why Keith and other prominent metals investors like Jim Rogers believe silver prices will climb much higher in 2024. According to Keith, about 7 ounces of silver for every ounce of gold comes out of the ground. In addition, the gold-silver ratio has only experienced such fluctuations as we have today since just before the beginning of the 20th century. For hundreds of years before then, governments kept the ratio at a steady 15-to-1 ratio or lower to maintain monetary stability. Though Keith is not certain we can ever get back to that range, he believes there is nothing stopping silver from going as high as $100 per ounce. Let's get back to the interview.
Yeah, I did the calculation the other day, actually. I think it was 91. I don't know what it is today, but it's probably around that. Yeah, it's very shocking. I've said, and you could even look at our corporate presentation, which is on our website, firstmajestic.com, where I say that we're mining as an industry, a mining industry, 7-to-1. So, it's pretty amazing that for every 1 ounce of gold mined worldwide, there's only 7 ounces of silver mined, yet, we're trading at 90-to-1. Can't figure out why that is. It's related to the paper market, obviously. The paper market trades something in the order of 1 billion ounces a day. So, if there's 320 trading days in a year, that means 320 billion ounces of paper silver trade every year, and the miners only produce 820 million ounces. So that's a lot of leverage that the banks have in the paper markets. I've looked at silver as a strategic metal for the last, decade. When I put First Majestic together, I put it together because of my love for silver and the fundamentals, the supply-demand fundamentals for the metal. So it's looking like the U.S. government and the Canadian government and others, France and a couple other European governments, are going to put silver on the critical metals list. So this is going to help miners, because what's that going to do for the mining sector is it's going to allow the governments to permit some silver mines more easily than they would otherwise possibly do, because all of a sudden governments wake up to the fact that we need these metals, and without these metals, we're not going to reach our green environmental targets that we're trying to reach. So that I think is very positive. And look for news on this. We put out a news release just a couple of weeks ago. I would suggest you go to our website because the 20 silver mining executives signed quite an important letter to the Canadian government, and also that same letter has gone to the U.S. government as well. So we're expecting to see movement on that.
Silver at 100, still there, right? I mean, I'm rooting for that 100 to come over also, but you still see that 100 coming up?
Well, I'm the guy that came up with the triple digit silver phrase as well. So I've come up with many phrases, I guess, throughout my career. But and I've been laughed at, and I've been criticized. I've had people write nasty things about me and send me nasty messages and talking my own book and so on and so forth. But what people don't really realize, I think, is that I fell in love with silver because I felt that it was such an important critical metal, strategic metal. And it's not like I got hired by a silver company. I formed this company from scratch, because of my belief in silver. So I called for $50 silver when I put the company together in 2002, and it was right. I was right. It took 10 years to get there, mind you. I would have never predicted silver would have gone from 50 back to 12 in the meantime. But we're now at 24 today, which is obviously off its lows, but it still has not reached its old highs at $50. I'm surprised it hasn't. Most other commodities have seen new highs in this cycle. Silver's, I think, the only commodity that has not reached a new high in the last decade. So it will happen. But I think, once it gets through 50, which I'm sure a lot of people will be surprised when it happens. I won't be surprised. But it'll be on its way to triple digits, and it should be 7-1. Now, whether we ever see that, who knows? I don't have a crystal ball, but you just divide 2,100 by 7, you come up, with a potential silver price. I know it's a stupidly big number, and I would never suggest that we would see such numbers like that. But I do believe we will see triple digits.
If silver gets listed as a critical metal in 2024, the only thing that could hinder a significant price rise would be the constant manipulation of prices through the paper markets. However, the manipulation can only continue for so long, especially with a brewing banking sector crisis, which could very well develop into a global monetary collapse. When people realize what's really happening and the huge opportunity silver presents at such low prices, millions of investors worldwide will buy silver, causing a massive spike in the metal's price. Please share your thoughts and comments on Keith's interview in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching our videos.